is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to talk about, belatedly, sorry about that, Dustin Dailey, who had put out a 10-minute video on Twitter by saying I begged Uber for help, they exposed my address instead. I warned them, I warned their lawyers, I even warned DKHOS, or Donkey Kong Host? No, Dara and then a name I can't pronounce. They ignored me, so here's the full story. As this involves doxing, we're going to talk about it. The obligatory message must now be inserted. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do, I don't care the level of use you serve society. I don't care. You must never dox. There is never a valid reason. Someone will now say, but the nonce. No, leave that to law enforcement. It is not your job to perform social justice and not the quaint interpretation of social justice with the SJWs of old. None of that crap. Take it to law enforcement and let them do their sodding jobs for a change. I know they don't do it much in the United Kingdom. They're too busy prosecuting people for protesting hotels being taken over by those that enter this country illegally. I'm aware. What I want to do is go through some of Dustin's video and some tweets. I'm going to preface this though with the following. Uber have been tagged repeatedly by so many people about this. They have not posted anything on their Twitter since the 21st of July. To be chalant or not to be chalant, that is the question.
I had a situation where Nick and I ordered our sushi from this place that we always order sushi from through Uber Eats. We ordered the food, the person came to our house, and then on our doorbell camera, we have her literally stealing our food.
That person needs to be fired immediately. A replacement order should have been delivered, and I think charges can in fact be pressed. Yes, it is theft after all. There is a no-nonsense approach as far as I'm concerned. We can all say, but go to the restaurant, enjoy the food there. Or perhaps, go collect the food instead. These services exist for a reason. If the service is not being provided, then the person who has failed to perform their duty needs to be punished. We see it all the time with all the different delivery providers for various different parcels, right? In my country, you got Royal Mail, Amazon have their own as well, and they get drivers replaced all the time. You have all the food ones as well now. You have Every that were once Hermes, and they're a joke. DPD, DH something, DHL I think, Yodel, there are loads. You are still paid to provide a service. We have FedEx as well now. It's arguably more reliable than the rest. Don't steal people's food, by the way.
We called in to try to get help. I spoke to 2 different people on 2 different phone calls that I have recorded.
Hi, Dusty. Thank you so much for patiently waiting on the line. I'm really sorry for the long wait. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, so in regards to this matter, since you mentioned that you caught the delivery person to stole your food, is it on your CCTV?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I have the video of her getting back in the car with it.
This is an obligatory fair use interjection. Abiding fair use is very important on this channel. I'm impressed that Dustin recorded his side of this conversation. I don't know many people who would do that, but I think since many companies do it on their end for legal purposes, I take no issue with you doing it as well. In fact, I think everyone should do it, because if people get put on blast, companies like this, I'm okay with it. Especially when you now know what happens in the future from the earlier mentioned tweet.
Actually, in this matter, this is handled by our safety team who handles delivery person's issues. So I'll be needing to transfer to you right now to them. So I'll be reporting this matter on what happened on your food. So all you need to do is to stay on the line as I endorse your case, okay?
And excuse me, you're gonna connect me with that person?
No, with our safety team. So they're the one who handles about robbery.
Well, this feels like dealing with a phone network provider when you try to cancel a contract. I'm not the right department to handle such a rudimentary problem. Here's the issue. Someone stole from me. I can send you the proof, but I'm not trained in this. I mean, at least Uber has a level of professionalism in having departments to deal with this, although it's a damning sign that you have people that do this enough to have a department for it. I guess that makes the initial call person assistant customer service assistant, isn't it? Yes, operative. How about that? I guess that makes them a specialist at dealing with the switchboard. Do we still use those now?
Oh, sorry about that. So, yeah, please stay on the line or as I report this matter so that I can definitely check if I could be able to transfer you to them to assist you further, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for that, Dusty. And I was getting the details that here for a recent delivery, the driver had come back and grabbed the order back from your porch. Is that right?
Yeah, I have her on video getting back in the car with it and leaving.
Understood, Dusty. Again, I really do see how seeing something like that is very upsetting, and I'm sorry to hear that that was your experience with that trip.
Well, all in all, this looks good so far, doesn't it? But as we know, this is nothing better than platitude and foreshadowing for shitty things to come. Let's see what happened next, because, yeah, that's just fantastic, isn't it?
Since we didn't get any help or any resolution, because these people on the phone were literally treating me like I did something wrong. Let me turn this off. Or like I was lying to them, which is completely crazy. Over a $40 order of sushi, okay? So upon us engaging with Twitter, the support, Uber support, Nick tweeted to them and they tweeted back our neighbor's address, okay?
That image has been shared to Twitter many times. It's redacted now for the most part. The full message reads, "Thank you for the prompt response. Please know that this is not the experience we want you to have. Again, we've checked the delivery details, and based on the photo provided by the delivery partner, your order has just been left in front of your door at, and then an address. If you're unable to locate it, we recommend checking nearby areas or reaching out to the delivery partner through the app for more details. We appreciate your patience and understanding on this matter." This is a very weird looking tweet, because you've been told there is evidence, video evidence. If the support, rather than doing a YouTube version of a phoned in response, bothered to reach out to the creator, the orderer as well, same thing I guess, orderer, creator of content, yes, they could have acquired the video evidence as verifiable proof that we've all seen this is not what happened. I get salmon marquis lovely, but fam, not enough to steal it from other people, okay? And by the way, publicly tweeting out an address is a big no-no. You should never do that. This is beyond the pale of acceptable. It would be like reaching out to customer support on social media and you use a pseudonym, for example like Omegon, and then they respond with some biological name at me, right? It's the same thing. You don't do it. In DMs, sure, if you have to resolve an issue that way. In DMs with, for example, Dustin Dailey, no issue at all, I'm sure, if they're confirming information. But publicly putting an address out there or a neighbor's address out there is a big faux pas.
Now, a lot of people may not think that's a big deal, but it literally is, because not only did they post a full address, they posted what is called a zip forward.
20 is the delivery sector course field is located in, and 00 is the specific delivery segment.
Now, in the last video where I talked about this situation, I explained what zip4 is, but basically, it is literally like GPS.
So for the sake of it, when it comes to where one is residing, it is a full dox of location. That's not okay. No provider, no platform should ever be putting out that kind of personal information. Ever. No one can justify this, and it should be called out for what it is. Truly unacceptable, and I'll be honest, Uber have not just dropped a ball, they've decided to pick a side in an argument they can't win because they've already decided the person making the accusation is lying. But with video evidence, they have proven they're not from the offset.
And I have taken every escalation measure available to me because I have filed BBB complaints. I've filed Attorney General complaints. I actually do have somebody from the Attorney General's office actually working with me right now. I filed complaints with the CFPB. I've spoken to FDLE. I filed a police report about this. I have done everything humanly imaginable and every escalation available to me to remedy this situation where Uber posted our zip4 because that's what this is. We were doxed.
The fact this has been taken as far as it has, and not yielded a positive outcome at time of recording, is embarrassing. I'm not the type to say don't use this service, but I am the type to say be more aware that this can happen when you use this kind of service. And it will, if Uber don't properly deal with it, it will lead to more legal action. rightly in this instance so. It will also lead, because Dustin Dailey has a presence in the online space, it will lead to poisoning of a well that they have allowed to be poisoned. Why? Through choice of inaction and intentional ignorance. And it has to be intentional ignorance because in the very phone call, Dustin stated, I have this on camera. It's on camera. And what did they do? Post a full address with essentially GPS there as well. Well, that quaint version of GPS there instead. After saying no action taken because it went to a neighbor's place. It didn't, but all right.
Because they posted our neighbor's address when they were replying to us about our concerns, okay? And I'm just so blown away that we are now almost at the end of July. Today is July 20th. I mailed them a demand on June 9th that they received and signed for at their registered agent in Florida because this is a very serious situation. Like, if you're watching this video, I would like to know how you would feel if there was an address that was immediately...
I can give you a very short version of this. I would be very cross. Then again, I've been here 10 years, I have had a stalker in my time on YouTube, who I've no doubt will see this video and be rage posting on Twitter because I've alluded to their existence. Piss off. How about that? That kind of behaviour is unacceptable. I cannot support, condone, I can never, ever get behind any company pulling a stunt like this. And seeking legal action is in this instance the right way forward if the company is refusing to accept blame for their error. And it is that, 100%.
Because I'm telling you, it has been hell for me. This is just absolutely insane and beyond anything that I think anyone should ever have to go through again. So I have tried to make this a precedent-setting situation. I actually have made this a precedent-setting situation, regardless if Uber or their attorneys, Perkins and Coy, want to acknowledge it. They know what's going on.
I could believe within the realm of social media they are not acknowledging it because they've been advised not to. For the sake of simple optics, at a point they will have to acknowledge it. They have to. Because optics-wise, this does not help them. Granted, many will just use Uber because convenience. Integrity is a lot more expensive than convenience. But it doesn't take away from the fact that they will at some point have to say something about this, and as more pay closer attention to Uber, they're going to find themselves on the receiving end of more demands that are going to be less than enjoyable for them. Exhibit A is about to be on the screen from your video.
And I've even had to escalate so far as to filing a bar complaint against the attorney that was overseeing this for Uber because she basically tried a tactic of forum manipulation and tried to get my case dismissed, even with me having 180 pages of a case file that I've documented everything meticulously with dates, times, stamps, and metadata.
Not gonna lie, that's a bit of a standard tactic. Find a little gap somewhere, a chink in your armor, exploit it to have it all thrown out over semantics. It's quite surprisingly common, a bit frustrating I have no doubt because of the effort you've put in here to have this wrong righted. If that fails, and this proceeds, do expect them to try and find a way to settle before discovery, if that hasn't already taken place. For the sake of it, if they offer a settlement, I tell you not to accept it, because if they are proven to be at fault, they need to accept and admit fault. This then comes back to what is better, integrity or convenience?
All of that, I have Uber literally admitting to this in their help app. They reached out to me to acknowledge that I requested arbitration, but now they've tried to dispute the forum. So literally, my civil rights have been just trampled and nobody is listening.
Don't be too surprised when a company worth close to $200 billion isn't paying as much attention as it should to something that matters. Many think that either they can throw money at it or they'll placate the shareholders instead, rather than tackle the problem that comes from a simple error that can be righted. A simple error being a crime committed, the correction being an apology, which is 5 letters, 2 syllables. Fam, how hard is that for you, Uber?
I do have somebody in the media that I did do an interview with that I'm waiting to be released. I don't know really what the holdup is there. It's an ABC, NBC news affiliate. I've been keeping them in the loop, and for some reason that's fallen off too. every escalation available to me, I have tried, and every escalation I have made has failed. And I'm to the point now where I want to pull my hair out because I'm not able to work.
I'm really sorry you're going through that and that it's not working, that there is a complete unwillingness to accept wrongdoing. Because in this instance, Uber, did dox. Uber, therefore, owe an apology at the very least. Uber also have not dealt with the person that stole the food, i.e. the delivery driver, the handler of the goods. They made excuses, they obfuscated, and then they passed you around like a joint in a prison to different departments. That is not acceptable. If you are too prideful to accept wrongdoing, Uber, then chances are, even with all the evidence against you, you deserve to lose at some point. And with more eyes being placed on you for these kind of incidents even, it's going to get worse for you.
This has consumed my life, and I know that there's a lot of people out there acting like this is not a big deal. It is, and to the people that feel that way, I would like to know how you would like it if a company as big as Uber got on the internet and posted your address.
If people do want to just fob it off, then chances are you don't understand the scope for what a dox can do to another person. It could well mean you are not familiar with the term swatting. Doxing is one of the worst things you can do on the internet. Nobody should allow that to stand. It must be called out for what it is. Uber did that. Whether they meant to or not does not matter, they did regardless. The result is unchanged by motivation or by a lack of understanding. Additionally, this all started because of somebody stealing food. Again, the fault of Uber. The buck stops at your feet after all. And instead, you claimed no wrongdoing, yet the video evidence was conclusive. As I am familiar with doxing, and many creators in the online space are, they should of course be familiar with just how bad it can get. Now, as we're at the end of this video, I'd love to know what you all think. Don't forget guys, likes and comments drive up the engagement. That does help the videos and helps the channel. And because of last year receiving many complaints about me having that at the start of a video, I removed it. The likes and the comments have subsequently gone down significantly. Any engagement really helps this channel, and of course I'd appreciate it immensely. As a final thing, I'm streaming on Twitch and Kick. I'll also be streaming here a foodie booty stream, because she's still in Syria, although she's gone quiet. It's payday, so no doubt she's gone to go get her money from somewhere. Yes. Do tell me what you think in the comments down below. If I don't see you later for streams of varying types, Star Trekker or foodie, I hope you have a marvellous day, and thank you all so much for listening.